Beach FM Saturday Sports Breakfast.
You're back on Beach FM with Damian, and it is time to talk softball again. And I'd like to welcome in the coach of the Junior White Sox. She has been around a while. Welcome, Kiri Shaw. G'day, Kiri.
Hey, morena.
Hey, mate, I think first and foremost, you being the Junior White Sox coach, you couldn't pick a better person to be in that position. How have you taken to the role since getting it last October?
Yeah, I was absolutely stoked to get the role. It obviously wasn't one of my goals to achieve. I've had a lot to do with girls' development in the Hutt Valley, and had a lot to do with a number of the girls, and that's what kind of I've enjoyed most out of coaching is seeing players develop. My focus has been on younger girls, and that's really come from my daughter, who's now 20, coaching that age grade. And now I have another younger daughter, Misha. I'm not sure whether I'll go back there, but I'd still like to help in the club system and stuff. So, yeah, it's just a natural progression to go to this, up to this role. And so, yeah, like I said, super stoked to get that role. And then, we literally got planning because it was a late appointment, and I think just lots of stuff going on and stuff. And it's like, well, bang, we've got about 8 months to get a team, select a team and get them ready for the World Cup in August. So it was get appointed, thank you, and then boom, straight into, what our campaign was going to be. So, it's been full on. It's been bloody exciting, I have to say. I've absolutely loved the opportunities we've had to bring girls together from around New Zealand and put them into a team environment and play in tournaments where we get to see them, and also play in, obviously, their representative sides to, again, see them play ball. So, yeah, it's been super exciting. Yeah.
Amazing. I'm glad you said natural progression because, when I get in the position, Kiri, here to interview someone, it's do I interview them as the legend player or do I interview them as the captain, as the coach, And now you say a natural progression that you're into the development and everything. You debuted for New Zealand at 16 years old. So you've been in that mix, in that development. So, it's only right that you would be that person to progress. And I know with Denva, it is obvious that you'd be around. So well done. Awesome. Leading up to the recent events, you guys had your Peru Tournament scheduled in August. And I'm guessing a couple pre-games somewhere else? Yeah.
So we had planned to go to Florida. There were a couple of venues that we were hoping to go to, or areas or states. And that was kind of reliant on contacts and the quality of ball that we were going to get prior to going into Peru in August. For me or for our coaching staff, wasn't about winning games. It was about getting the toughest competition we could, so that if we got beaten and we got beaten badly or got beaten by a little bit, we were always going to be learning about what we could do things better, as opposed to winning lots of games against maybe not so good competition and then going into a World Cup, with maybe a different idea of confidence when I know, and some of these other girls have had international experience as well, they know that level of ball in other countries is, a notch up from what we have in New Zealand. And so, the idea was to try and quickly get those that hadn't seen what quality ball is, or the top level softball, to say, hey, this is what it is. Right, we need to, we've got this small time frame to get all of our weaknesses, work on those and devise strategies and see what works best for us heading into World Cup. So that was the plan. And so, potentially we were looking at South Carolina and Florida. And now we've got some Kiwis, Paul Walford, who's an ex-Black Sox. He's been very helpful. And we've also got David Rayner, whose daughter is actually one of our non-travelling reserves. So they were super helpful and could actually come back and confirm games and confirm the quality of our opposition. So it saw us going to Florida before Peru. Yeah, so yeah.
Can I just take a sec to, just for the people out there that wouldn't know the level of ball that is in America, I remember listening to your mother when she came back from the last trip, and some ballparks had 20 diamonds, and some of their club teams would, probably topple some national teams. Can we just tell the people what kind of level they're at over there?
Yeah, absolutely. So we took it was a regional team. It was a mixture of a Hutt Valley and Wellington team, an under-16 team to California, which is one of your hotspots of American softball, girls softball. And, they, like Mum said, they had, 20 fields and they had 50 to 60 teams playing. And they did have them in age groups, 12s, 14s, 16s to 18s. But the level of play was phenomenal. I was so excited. I was like, oh my God, I just want to go out and face that little 14-year-old who's throwing over 100K. Let me at her. And she'll probably still get, I'll still go down swinging, but it was amazing. And, no jokes. They had 14-year-old teams, 16-year-old teams that would convincingly beat our national team. And this is not a dig at our players. This is a level. And I could have stayed at the park all day when we weren't playing to watch the level of softball. But also mindful, it's a business over there. It's a business sport. It's a career pathway for parents, for their kids. They're all wanting to get their girls into college, on as much scholarship as they can. So they pay, thousands of dollars to have personal coaching. They pay thousands of dollars to be in the best travel ball teams, to be seen by college scouts. So, when you've got millions of girls as opposed to, I don't know, in our age group, 18s, maybe we've got, who knows, 200 players versus a million players. You can totally understand why their softball is way better than ours. But yeah, we're making inroads. We're getting young Kiwi girls over there. We have been for a few years now. And I just think, until the level of our softball over here gets better, and that's a way away, the pathway for our young girls is to go to college, and that's super exciting for them. Absolutely.
Absolutely, that's even an option now. I know American sports is always going to be, we're going to be looking on the outside in, wanting to have those opportunities, but it is very much a reality now for young softballers, young female softballers from this country. Let's touch on your daughter, Denva. How's she getting on? What's happening with her over there at the moment?
Yeah, well, she's actually home. We got her home.
Right.
As soon as we got permission from her college, and things were starting to really, vamp up over there. She's in Pennsylvania, but she's actually only just over a little hour away from New York City, which is obviously the worst hit in the States by the looks of it. We started to have concerns, and then just word around, was like, not liking the look of this, And so, we went back to university and said they were looking at going online around that time as well, and said, look, can we have her back? And they were all good with that. So she's been back now for 3-4 weeks, driving us nuts back into a normal role. But she's had to do, continue with her study online. She's been in the process of selecting her summer courses. So she was going to do some summer courses back here as well. And there's even a rumour of potentially, studying in the fall semester as well, which means I'm hopeful. Ideally, as a parent, best case scenario for us would that she would continue to study online here for the rest of the year and go back at the start of next year, which is actually their main season for college ball. Just with the craziness that's happened in New York City, I as a parent would prefer her to be going back next year, as long as she, and her continue to study here. But so we definitely know at this stage, she's here till August, and then we'll see what is happening over in America. And, the college may still say, hey, it's still, still not sure what's happening over here. Maybe it is best for her to stay here, and that would be our best. That's what we would hope for as parents. Yeah. So yeah,
as long as she's safe, exactly.
Awesome. Yeah, absolutely. And so the NCAA have granted student athletes, spring athletes, which is obviously softball, another year of eligibility. What that looks like 3 years down the track, I'm not sure. We know for sure that Denva has another 2 years, so she's played 1 year. She has another 2 years, and with that fourth year, we'll address that because, there's the whole thing around scholarships and new freshmen coming in. They've got a whole bunch of freshmen now that have nowhere to go because, so it's all cool. But we know that for sure Denva's got another 2 years of college softball, which we're just so jealous for her and this opportunity. It's amazing. Her team's a Div 2 team, and they go pretty well in their conference. But for me, it's just the whole opportunity and experience that she's living is just like, damn, I'm jealous.
Yeah.
I'm jealous.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Now, good to hear. Now, let's talk about that tournament that was going to happen in August. It has been postponed till, is it next year now?
Yeah, I would say again next year. I can't see it being any time this year. So we are tentatively planning for next year.
Right.
Yeah.
So what is that? What happens to your squad that you've got now? Are there people that they're going to be girls that are ineligible now because they're older? And how does that? Have you had to have those talks already?
Yeah, well, that's a really good question, and we are pushing for our girls that have made this World Cup team to be the group of girls that play in next year's World Cup. Awesome. It's horrible to think that they may miss out on a World Cup because of what's happened. So I know from our point of view, we really want Softball New Zealand to push to say, let's keep the same group of teams. I believe most of the national teams had been selected anyway, so there is, team schedules there. But again, I can't confirm for everyone. And so, I don't want to see these group of girls miss out on a World Cup. So our push from our point of view is to say, hey, keep it as is, keep it with these girls. Yes, they're going to be over the 18 age, whatever, but this is the girls we should stick with for that next World Cup. So, that's where we're going to be pushing. That's what we're pushing for.
Absolutely. I can't imagine getting right to this moment and then having a world virus take away your chance to wear the silver fern. Hey, mate, usually at this time I'd ask, what kind of advice you would give to them. But I think I'm still going to, because you are a veteran of 5 World Championships and Olympic Games in Sydney. So, I mean, what advice would you give these girls to keep pushing and during this time, keep striving for that and keeping motivated?
Yeah. And, this is one of our key areas of focus is that the mental side of the game. I think we have really good athletes. We have very good athletes. Our level of softball skills is very good as well. We just don't have that competition. Where I think we need to do the most work is obviously the mental side of the game. And what better situation, right now, doing it tough to say, is that World Cup going to happen? Am I going to get to a World Cup? So for those girls and, those younger girls that aspire to go to college and saying what's happening now with my potential goal to reach there, I think it's now time to just start doing, your mental training and staying positive and setting small goals to keep in shape. And at this stage, it's for domestic players as well. We are saying, well, our softball season's going to start in September, September, October. Okay, that's my goal, to prepare myself as best as I can, and that should excite them. This challenge like this, they have to turn it around and be excited by that. Okay, I know the ball season's going to start September. What am I going to do to get myself and physically prepared? So, that's only 4 or 5 months down the track, but rather than worry about the what ifs and the things that you can't control, you can control a whole lot of stuff. And that again is your physical preparation and your mental preparation. And just stay hungry, stay positive, and keep doing the things that will keep you motivated. Now that's, you have to still work at it. You have to work at that. It's all good for me to sit here and say, do this, do that. But if you don't work at that mental side of things, it's just I'm mentally preparing myself. But you have to do that stuff. And so, that was going to be a large focus, and it's something that excites me. But we are kind of just picking up our build up now. We had intended to actually start our first camp next weekend after the club nationals. So the girls were having a rest after clubs, and then we were getting together for our first weekend. Obviously, that's not happening. We have something coming up in the future, we hope, and Softball New Zealand have I like the idea. We have just started to kind of up our comms with our team. We have a page, and we're just starting to try and, start building our team culture and our values and stuff like that. And so that's going to be a long process as well to keep these girls motivated, keep us as a team, and keep them excited for what's happening next year. Yeah.
Well said. It'd be remiss of me if I didn't ask some thoughts on our Otaki girl, Kiri Shaw, being named in the White Sox for wider training squad as well.
Yeah, and she's had a fantastic season. She made the right move. She had to go to a club and a province where she could be seen. And I admire players that have loyalty to their clubs and provinces. And yet sometimes you just have to go out of your shell, to make that sacrifice and be selfish for your own career to further. I think that's what has happened. Last year she was playing under 18s and P2 grade. This year she's playing 18s. She's made tournament teams at 23. She's made the White Sox, wider squad. She's made the Junior White Sox. And that also, that majorly is on her. She's a fantastic trainer. She's a great learner. She's always going, you give her advice, she's going home and she's working on it. She's got fantastic support with mum and dad and her other whānau. So, that's big kudos to Kiri and her whānau for, having a goal and doing everything they can to achieve that goal. So, she's very exciting. We don't know yet where she's quite versatile, and I think that's like a added bonus to be versatile. If you play one position, you have to be the rock star in that position, and you have to be offensively and defensively a rock star. But there are also some very, very good players that are so versatile that they can be, seen as being, advantage to be put in these different positions. And that's where at this minute I see Kiri, and she's young. She might eventually later down the track say, no, this is where I want to cement my spot right here. But Kiri's versatility is a definite bonus for her.
I did ask her which position she preferred, and she did say which one gives me the silver fern. So she'll do it for the team. Awesome. Yeah. Well, mate, thank you. I've already taken up so much of your time this morning. I really appreciate it. I feel like I could have gone.
I do have a busy schedule.
Yeah, absolutely at the time. Well, mate, you've probably got a very full house as well, and things to sort out as well. So I really appreciate it, mate. And I hope you guys are all well during this lockdown. I can't wait to get out of it and get back on track to that World Series, hopefully early next year.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, thanks so much, Damian, for having me. And thanks for doing the plug for softball and girls softball. It's awesome.